York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.
Woo, man. What's going on? This is Jay Ellis from the Nick of Time Show. Busting those shots just in the nick of time. And guess what? The Knicks pull out a win in New York, avoid the sweep and the gentleman's sweep, and push this series to Game 6, beating the Heat 112-103. RJ Barrett came in, had a monstrous game, 26 points on the night. Julius Randle, after a horrendous start, finishes with 24 points, 5 assists, and 6 rebounds. Grimes, the gritty one, the biggest 8.5 assists, 2 steal, 2 block game of your life. And our fearless leader, Jalen Brunson, plays all 48 minutes along with Grimes and gives you 38.7 assists and 9 rebounds. You knew this man was going to show out. Damn near had a triple-double. And we're going to talk about it all, man. The good, the bad, the ugly, but it's a lot of good because the Knicks win. And man, talk about grit. Jalen Brunson, Quentin Grimes played all 48 minutes today. And you can tell, it's like, wow, the Tibbs figured it out. Ryan G, Tibbs figured it out. Tibbs finally figured it out. Grimes gives you the space.
Yeah.
Brunson needs to operate. So I'm not sitting this man down the entire game. And even if I put RJ on the bench and Josh Hart comes in, Grimes is still not sitting down. So kudos to the coach for making what, guys? Adjustments. All right. Salute to the chat. Salute to the guys. And I just want to go right into it, get your thoughts on the game. Let's go. Go ahead, Lee Escobedo. Let me know your thoughts on the game, man.
I wrote in my pregame write-up for Posting and Toasting. I told a story about my dad and I watching game 4 of a 2012 first-round playoff series between the New York Knicks and Miami Heat when Carmelo dropped 41 to stave off elimination. That was the first playoff game win that I saw in my New York Knicks fandom because I started watching right after that conference finals.
Great article, by the way, Lee.
Miami. Thank you. Yeah. And, I was emotional while I was writing about it because I was saying about, my relationship with my pops and our relationship in conjunction with the Knicks. And he's the reason why I'm a fan. And also like the feeling of jubilation when you watch your favorite team, the team that you invest every moment you're in the shower, the bathroom, when you're alone, driving in the car, on the subway, wherever, at work. You're thinking about the Knicks. How can the Knicks get better? How can the Knicks win a championship? That's how I am. 24/7, I'm thinking about how can my favorite dysfunctional team win a championship?
Amen.
And today, they showed they had the heart to stave off elimination and gave a whole new generation of Knicks fans their first memory of something to reflect on years from now. And they look back and say, oh, that was the first great game that I saw while I was a Knicks fan, because there hasn't been very many in the last 20 years. This was the best win of my lifetime was today because it already had won one game, but Jimmy Butler wasn't there. Butler was there today, and they show they can beat the Heat with Butler and the rest of that roster, their three-point shooters, hitting some wide open threes and, giving us the three-point barrage in the fourth quarter. But for the most part, we held our own. Yeah. And, man, Mitchell Robinson and Isaiah Hartenstein found that offensive rebounding back. The guy that's had dominant 5-game wins in the series in Cleveland. And to me, that was that, and along with RJ Barrett becoming a star in the playoffs, surpassing any expectations I had. I'm changing my opinion on my kid. Those are the two key metrics for me in us winning this game, along with Jalen Brunson being him.
Yeah. I kind of figured, I was saying this on Twitter for a few people. If we play the way we played last game and just rebound the ball, we win. Because it's not like we got blown out last game. We lost the rebound battle. And today, when you're looking at the rebounds, we won the rebound battle. Particularly, look at the stats real quick. 57-44 advantage Knicks when it comes to rebounds. In general, offensive rebounds, we also win that 214-11. Rebounds are a big reason why we put this game away. And I'm pretty sure Ryan G is about to mention some other reasons why I put this game away. Go ahead, Ryan G.
Yeah. First and foremost, I'm going to say this. I don't know if y'all were following my tweets on Twitter.
Of course.
But early on, I was so pissed off. Like, I literally wanted to pick up my TV and toss it out the damn window. That's how pissed off I was.
Chill, yo.
With the way the Knicks came out in that game, because I was like, this is a must-win game. How can y'all come out like this and play like this? Like, there was no adjustments. They were playing slow, allowing the Heat to set up on a defensive end to where they can't create no offense whatsoever. And I thought the game was done, honestly. After the first quarter, I was pissed off. I was done. I was like, yo, my happiness matters more than this. If it wasn't for the podcast, I probably would have turned off the game right then and there.
And you would have missed a thriller, all right?
Exactly. But in the second quarter, the Knicks started to turn up the pace. All series, what was the issue? What was one of the issues for the Knicks? The Jimmy Butler minutes when he's on the bench. The Knicks were not dominating those minutes all series. Finally, when Butler goes to the bench, that's when the Knicks woke up and they dominated those minutes. And I think that's what got them back into the game. That was major.
Yeah.
Another thing now, they started to pick up the pace as well. Instead of taking their sweet time up the court, allowing Miami to set up their defense, they started to play a bit faster and get easier baskets. That's another thing. Another thing now, I want to touch on Julius Randle because, again, in the first half, he was pissing me off.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, yo, Julius Randle, I'm here trying to support you, my guy, but you cannot be playing like this in a game that's a must win.
Mm-hmm.
Because I see what Julius Randle's doing in the offensive end. He changed it in the second half. He played way better in the second half, and you have to give that man his props for finally waking up and contributing to the win. But I see what he's doing, especially in the first half, because it seems like when he gets the ball, he's trying to wait and see what defense Miami's going to throw at him, rather than just going and seeing what Miami's going to throw at him. Because because every time he gets the ball, he holds it because he's trying to see like, okay, any doubles are going to come and this and that. But the thing is that Miami's not initiating anything when he's holding the ball. Miami's only going to react once he makes a move. So he started to play better in the second half. But Julius Randle, what I would like to see from him is, okay, when you get the ball, just make a move because Miami's not going to show their hand unless you make a move. And then when Miami shows their hand, when you make the move, then you react. And that's what he did in the second half. And it resulted in a lot of open threes as well, because a lot of those passes that Julius Randle passed out of the double team where he found the open shooter, a lot of them were hockey assists because he would pass it out to an open shooter and then they would make the pass. And I think on two of them, like Brunson had wide open threes. And Brunson wasn't getting those wide open threes the last couple of games in Miami. So that was also big as well. And I just want to go to the team stats as well, because you mentioned the rebound battle. I think that was the major thing. Because the Knicks were getting killed on the boards by Miami in the last couple of games. But in this game, like I said, they out-rebounded Miami by 16 on the boards. And I think this is the most important stat right here. The defensive rebounds, 36. Because Miami were getting a lot of second chance opportunities. And tonight, there was a lot of one and dones for the Knicks. They definitely crashed the defensive boards and limited the defensive rebounds for Miami and limited those second chance points, which were major. And I think another thing to point at too is the turnovers as well. The Knicks won this game with 19 turnovers.
That's crazy.
Which is crazy. And Miami had 29 points off of those 19 turnovers. So in game 6 in Miami, the Knicks have to limit those turnovers. I think if they can limit those turnovers and win on the boards again, there's a chance they could bring it back to the Garden for game 7.
You touched on a lot. At first, I'm gonna start with Julius Randle because he was pissing me off too. All right, I'm gonna say this: he was pissing me all the way. I was screaming at the TV, "Move fast! We're having success when we're attacking early." But he passed up an open three just to let the defense reset, just so he can post up Bam Adebayo, which hasn't worked the entire series. By the way, he has not successfully posted up Bam the entire series, just to turn the ball over. And I'm sitting here like, what's going on with you, Julius? Like, get your head in the game. The Knicks in the first quarter only scored 14 points. And then the Knicks go on a run with Obi Toppin in the game instead of Randle. And Obi Toppin wasn't even anything special. But you know what Obi Toppin did? He didn't slow the game down. He got out and ran, dunked it, moved the ball, kept it moving, and the pace was able to keep up with Obi in the game. Didn't have a phenomenal game, but he didn't slow down the game. So that pace was so important for us because that was the only way we were able to get into mismatches, get into the scoring, and get into a flow offensively. And I'm glad Jalen Randle figured it out later, but he has to figure that out a little bit faster. It's like, but we got there when we got there. All right, it is what it is. It is what we got there where we got there. But I mean, listen, but we have a lot of other people to talk about, right? We got. I didn't even talk about Brunson yet. I didn't really talk about Brunson yet, but I'm gonna talk about Brunson right now. I'm gonna talk about Brunson. I'm going to talk about Tibbs, man, because I gotta give Tibbs some props because Tibbs been getting a lot of heat. Oh, it must be the coach's fault that the Knicks aren't playing well and da 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 da. Listen, man. Today was another good example of Tibbs is not done. All right. All season long, we've been talking about how Randle needs to sit when he's not playing well. Those OB minutes when Randle sat for that almost entire second quarter was very important for this win. All right. It got us back into a flow, first of all. And like I said in the beginning of the series, playing Brunson and Grimes together was such a huge game changer for us. Just for the fact that, like Ryan G said, the last post game, he gives you the spacing. Playing Grimes gives you the spacing, first of all. And second of all, Brunson and Grimes, they both fought to grab rebounds this game. Even if they couldn't cleanly get a rebound, they understood the assignment. They were blocking people off with one arm, batting the ball away with the other arm to the point where you're looking at Brunson's stats and this man damn near had a triple-double. 38 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists, 10 and 12 from the free throw line, plus 9 on the night, and never put New York City on his back. Point guard Jalen Brunson, man. That's my point guard, man. Don't talk to me about point guard. Don't talk to me about Donovan Mitchell's better than him. Don't talk to me about he's not an all NBA player. Don't talk to me about I'm overrating that man. That man played ball today, man. I'm so glad. I know he's gonna have a lot of more of these type of performances that's going to wow audiences and Knicks fans for years to come, man. We have a point guard finally, that piece that we've been missing. We just have to keep building around it. And look at that. Now we are with the bottom over here, man. RJ Barrett going before our eyes. Man. Lee, you haven't said anything in a while. I know you've been taking it in. I'm gonna pass the ball to you.
I want to talk about Tom Thibodeau real quick.
Go ahead.
The hate on Tom Thibodeau, it's so funny. I'm in this position where I feel like in some ways I'm defending him when I was calling for his firing. Yeah, I became a Tibbs intern from, I think I probably stopped saying fire Tibbs around January.
Yeah.
And then I actually became a pretty solid fan of him in the way that he coached the rest of the way out. But there's something unique about the hatred I see on Twitter for Tom Thibodeau, because more than RJ or Randle, there's never an informed opinion, but rarely is there an informed opinion. I will every now and then see some X's and O's breakdowns of what Tibbs could be doing better against Spo, like maybe more small to small screens, maybe being a little bit more decisive.
Which he did today.
Yes, he did.
He saw Quentin Grimes coming from the corner to set a screen for Brunson, and then you seen that all. Like, I'm sorry, continue.
No, you're right, because it leads to my second point, which Tibbs also did. Or being more discerning when to double Jimmy. Double Jimmy at the free throw line and in. Allow him to have single coverage on the 3-point line or between the free throw line and the 3-point line. You rarely see any type of conversation about that. Typically, Tibbs hate on Twitter is he's a dumbass. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's reached his ceiling. He's lost a team. He's arrogant. He's an idiot, blah, blah, blah. I think critiquing every player from James Dolan on down to any bum on the end of the bench is fair game. But if you don't do it with an informed opinion. a constructed opinion with evidence and backing on why you feel that way. And 90% of the tips say that I see on Twitter is empty and mindless and soulless. Yeah. And honestly, it's cowardly to just attack him and make him a scapegoat for the effort of a team collectively, and especially the effort of our best players and Julius Randle and his effort on defense and his decision-making on offense. Yeah. That's where the real issue lies. That every time Tom Thibodeau does something right, it's just Johnny Bryant whispered in his ear. What the? That's the stupidest. That is his stupidest critique of Tom Thibodeau. And I am someone who had a lot of critiques of Tom Thibodeau, and that is the stupidest. So give Johnny Bryant his flowers. I hope one day that man's the head coach of the New York Knicks. I hope when Tibbs' contract ends, Johnny Bryant's begins. But to give Tibbs anything that he does as a 13-year veteran and as a head coaching, anything positive he does, is as Johnny Bryant whispered in his ear, bro. Anyways, tonight I thought Tom Thibodeau coached a fantastic game. There were some things that really bothered me. I think the 1 minute of Deuce McBride was idiotic. Like, you got a guy on the bench that can spell Jalen Brunson and actually improve the defensive abilities of a team when he's on the floor. He's constantly a plus. Plus minus isn't the best metric, but he's constantly a plus, and that's the best point of attack on the opposing team, defending that. And with Miami, they run a lot of their action to the point guard when either Bam or Butler's on the bench. Mm-hmm. So why not counterbalance those substitutions with some Deuce McBride's minutes that helps contain the point of attack and helps contain their ability to get to the free throw line and get dribble penetration? 1 minute, and most of those seconds were right before halftime. Ridiculous. I am a huge proponent of Deuce McBride playing more minutes, especially when Emmanuel quickly is out of the game. Why the hell is Jalen Brunson playing the whole game when you have a very qualified backup who gives you the opposite of what Brunson gives you on the defensive end? Just my 2 cents. But here's what I love. He benched Josh Hart, his favorite toy, Howard Burks Part 2, but better. It was getting to that point. He benched his ass when he was having ticky-tack fouls, bad turnovers, poor decision-making, passing up wide open threes, all the things that irritate me about Josh Hart, because every player has pros and cons. The fact that he benched him, only gave him 9 minutes, and played Grimes, who did you constant spacing and perimeter threat, was a brilliant move. Hats off to Tom Thibodeau. I'm done.
Listen, I ain't going to get into a Miles McBride debate, but typically when the do or die game, for most coaches, they lean even heavier on their stars. So I understand why McBride wasn't in, but like that's not even a Tom Thibodeau thing. That's like, it's maybe not a 48-minute thing. That might be like another level. Usually it'd be like 44. 40. That's what you typically see, but Tim's got a Tib, right? Sure. Tim's got a Tib. Right?
Typically, he has quickly to balance that. But with no quickly, it makes more sense for Deuce McBride to get those minutes.
Right, but
there's not an excuse.
To me, Deuce McBride, I feel you. I like Deuce McBride, but to me, when I'm looking at Deuce McBride and ball handling and running a team, I'm not particularly overconfident to throw him in that fire for like a 20-minute span on a do or die game when I really haven't seen it consistently throughout the regular season. That's just me.
I think he should have matched up with the Kyle Lowry minutes. Those are the perfect minutes for him to be out there on. Not Gabe Vincent, but Kyle Lowry. I'm sorry, Black China. Because he was Black China tonight, bro. Let's ask Chief. We're twerking. Naked clap, Kyle Lowry. I saw you. Those Chiefs were clapping. My boy, 9 points like a bum.
My ears.
Take those fat ass cheats back to Miami, bro. I told y'all he was a bum. He shocked out for a game and a half, bro.
No more Kyle Lowry standing coming out of my mouth after he's I'm not doing it, man. I'm not.
Black China was killing us though. He was knocking in some clutch threes in that fourth quarter.
Was past him.
Black China got a ring. All right, Black China got a ring.
Yeah, that's
true. All right, that's all I got to say. You got to put some respect because he killed us. We still got a couple more games to go. Right?
No doubt.
Let's not get too cocky.
Well, you know me, Jay Ellis.
But there is one thing I would like the Knicks to change in Game 6 because I think the Knicks kind of lucked out with the Heat not shooting well today from three-point range, which I think is probably because, on the road players don't normally shoot well on the road as opposed to at home. So seeing that they're gonna be going back to Miami, the one thing I would like to see the Knicks stop doing, which I think is the reason why Duncan Robinson was able to go off in the fourth quarter, because oftentimes I think Thibs had Brunson, Duncan Robinson. Oftentimes Brunson was going to double off of Duncan Robinson and then try to
Right.
recover on Duncan Robinson. I'm like, that's not the guy that you double off of and leave open like that. And I think going into game 6, like I want to see the Knicks stick to like Robinson, Strus, and those guys. Like, do not
That's the,
help off of those guys. Like, stick to those guys so they don't go off on 3, because they're going to be playing in Miami the next game, and those guys are more than likely gonna not shoot bad from 3 like they did in this game. And I think that's the reason why Duncan Robinson was able to go off in the fourth, because a lot of times they were doubling off of Duncan Robinson, and Duncan Robinson was there just for catch and shoot.
yeah. Yo, here's the thing about that. Like, I understand this. Okay. Miami has not been shooting the 3 ball well in this series. All right. So more props to Tibbs because they were shooting lights out versus the Bucks. Versus the Knicks, they've been shooting 31%, which in our minds is high because you've been shooting worse.
Yeah, pretty much.
But in reality, they have not been shooting well from 3 or really from the field, really, this series. The only one who's really been shooting well in the series, statistically, is Jimmy Butler. Everybody else, we've done all right. All right. The Bucks, they were scoring. They were scoring 125 points a game on the Bucks. Okay, and 4 or 5 people were averaging over 40% from 3 on the Heat squad. Not been with us. So I agree with you partly, Ryan. We're gonna have to double off of to keep Jimmy from going off. We're going to have to double off one of them at some point. Maybe it's not consecutive plays to get him in the rhythm. Maybe that's the compromise. But Jimmy Butler, if we don't, I've heard people say, well, if we have to stop doubling Jimmy Butler altogether, because if we stop doubling him, then everybody else won't beat us. The Bucks didn't even double Jimmy Butler, and they averaged 125 a game. So we have to still double him, but we have to do it more judiciously, like Lee said earlier. You know what I mean? And I'm glad we started to do that. But I agree with you. Maybe we left Duncan Robinson open a little bit too much this game. Yeah. Maybe switch off of somebody who's cold, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Somebody who's not hitting the 3.
Exactly. But I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. But overall, I like that we adjusted. I liked even the box out. Shout out to, hold on, let me get into my RJ Barrett. Let me get into my RJ Barrett stuff. I am extremely proud of what RJ has done so far in this series. He's gotten a lot of hate, a lot of critique all season long. I critiqued him myself as well. But the biggest critique, the most damning critique that I've heard about RJ all season was, and see, now Lee's away from this. Here you go. Yeah, come back. This is your part, Lee.
Sorry, my cat threw up.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All good.
But yeah. People already put a ceiling on RJ Barrett and said, okay, he's not going to get better than this. He's been the second best player in the playoffs.
Yeah.
For this team. Hopefully, this continues within the regular season next year's and this becomes like who he is as a person. But to have this performance back-to-back playoffs, have this type of impact, so all of a sudden he's shooting well from the field. He's shooting better from the 3 in places. He's hitting clutch free throws because he hit clutch free throws today. Had a huge box out against Jimmy Butler where Butler threw him to the floor and we got the ball back from a foul. He is locked in and he's grown, and I'm hoping this is the real RJ Barrett. But this is why I'm hesitant to put ceilings on guys under 26 years old, especially guys under 26 who work like RJ does and like our guys do, because you just don't know what it's gonna click in your mind and all of a sudden the trajectory might change. So kudos for RJ, had another really great game. And I heard an announcer say this today, but we've been losing against the Heat, but even though we were losing, he's had one bad game versus the Heat, and it's been kind of underrated how good he's been playing for us.
100% agree. It's sorry, Ryan. I'm just gonna say something real quick because I was the only one of us three that criticized him. Not criticized, but had a lower ceiling perception of what he could be, and it felt good to set the bar low so I could be shocked, and also feels good to be wrong because he's a homegrown talent that in my years of fandom I haven't seen someone that we drafted as a high lottery pick develop into a star. Because KP wasn't here long enough and never played in the playoffs. So it's been really nice to see that. Happy to take the L, and I hope it continues.
Absolutely. I think we have to give RJ. This is my mind. I'm gonna give RJ room to grow. I give RJ room to grow, and I lower my expectations in Julius Randle. that's how I like. That's what I mean when me and Lee was arguing before about Julius Randle being the most clutch person in NBA. And I'm just like, he has to mentally get it right for me to put him in that situation, because he's going to frustrate you, but then at the same time, he'll have a second half like he did today, where he shoots threes, he's diming people up, he's getting the clutch. Like it's just so up and down with him mentally. But I put Julius in my proper box, where somebody had a good comparison to him. They call him like kind of like the DeMar DeRozan. Like he's really good player. Probably not going to be the best player of the team, not going to win you a championship, but he's a really good player. And as long as I keep him in that mind where he's going to be a really good player, and that's what he is, and if Tibbs can keep doing what he did today is, hey, this really good player is going off the rails, you're going to sit a little bit longer. As long as we do that, we should be fine.
I do want to add one thing, though.
What?
About the Bodman.
Go ahead.
RJ Barrett. This man had us fooled, because this man throughout the regular season played up and down. Then when the playoffs came, all of a sudden, he's playing like the player that we thought he could be. At this point, I think it's safe to say that RJ Barrett is a true veteran. Mm-hmm. He's like all the other veteran players in the NBA. They don't care much about the regular season. They just cruise through the regular season. But then when the playoffs come, that's when they show their true. That's when they show their true selves. That's when they show their true selves.
Julius Randle really reminds me of Chris Webber a lot. I made this comparison before. I think Webber was someone who was indicted for not giving a full effort on defense and kind of taking his time and conserving his energy for the offensive side of the ball. He's also someone who made a lot of mental mistakes at end of games. I'm not talking about colleges. I'm talking about the pros with Sacramento specifically. Right. And someone who had a higher opinion of himself than what he actually was. Their games are very similar too. Both thrived when they caught the ball and made quick decisions. But when they caught it and held it and became a ball stopper, that's when they broke the continuity of a team and actually had more low efficiency shooting percentages from three, mid-range, and in the free throw line. So I think that's a good person that Randle should be studying what not to do, because as great as Webber was, and he's Hall of Fame, not sure if Randle will ever be there. There is a lot to learn from his game, both good and bad, for the type of number two option that Randle could be once we start adding more talent to his team, and if he's still there.
Yeah, that's a pretty good comparison, man. That's a pretty comparison, because as you saw today, when he moved quicker, that's when things started to open up for us and everybody. He started hitting threes when it came. He started making plays. Kudos to RJ Barrett too, who's moving without the ball. When we ISO'd, like when he's locked in, and then the defense even picked up. I've seen him challenging threes, flying out more when he got into a rhythm offensively. So the coach has to keep him engaged. The coach has to sit him down when he's not playing well. And as long as we do that, bring Obi Toppin in here to sit him down and watch it, I think we should be fine. And I don't know, man. He keeps getting a beating. He has like a big old knot on his eye the whole day. Man, he caught a beating. So salute to Randle. But I'm last person I want to talk about tonight. Quentin Grimes, man. Quentin Grimes, Mr. Untouchable. The guy who the Knicks refused to put in the Donovan Mitchell trade, which was a whole lie anyway. But Man,
And the Zach LaVine trade.
listen, well, that one is actually, yes. We needed him tonight. Another uninformed take that I keep hearing people say, and it drives me freaking crazy. How many points did he score? 9 points? He's not that special. He's not. It's my same argument with Mitch. People think that points are the end all be all of how you affect the game. And if you're not scoring over 20 points, they don't think you're integral to the success of the team. But like Ryan G said, because of his quick release and his non-hesitancy to shoot the ball, which took him like half the season because he didn't shoot, like the first half of the season, he didn't want to shoot. But those two things opened up the floor for Brunson, and his defense has been great for us. Now, the play of the game for me was when homie got hurt, was limping on one leg, fourth quarter, game on the line. Jimmy Butler smells blood. He's like, oh, he's hurt. I'm going to take him one-on-one. Grimes ends up with the steal, one-on-one with Jimmy on one leg. Game ball goes to Brunson Grimes. That was the play. That was one of the plays of the game.
Yep.
That was one of the plays. That was phenomenal. I've never seen nothing like that, man.
I'll go even further. I think that's the best play he's made in his career.
Yep.
To this day, that's the best play, because you would think that him hopping on one leg, you would think that he's barbecue chicken. Like, I don't blame Jimmy Butler for getting the ball and look at him like, you know what? He's hurt. I'm going to attack him. But the fact that he was able to fight off the pain and play defense in a crucial moment of the game and stop Jimmy Butler and steal the ball and create a turnover, that, like, right there, that play alone was like the greatest, like, toughness, all heart moment of the whole game right there.
And Jimmy Butler himself, 5 of 12, 41% from the field. He didn't have a crazy game. 19 points, 9 assists, though. It's just like, even his non-crazy games are like, 19 points, 9 assists, 7 rebounds.
That's what makes Miami so dangerous, is that him and Bam are both way above average playmakers. Yeah. And when they get into that mid-range spot, they're deadly either way. They take a shot, it's going in. They decide to facilitate, they're going to find an open shooter. And they're really the only two players on the team that can operate in the mid-range. Everyone else takes either 1 or 2 shots, a 3, or they get to the basket.
Yeah, which is the beauty of Miami, because people underestimate them because they don't have a lot of playmakers per se. But if we have 2 guys who are a big man who can pass and a small forward who can pass, and they're all mid-range guys, and you surround them with shooting, like, that's pretty much a recipe to win games right there. Like, you can really do damage just with those few things, especially if your big man, power forward, center can shoot in that mid-range too, because that kind of opens up the floor for everybody. So, and they've done a good job. And today they didn't shoot well. They actually haven't shot well this series. We just got to keep it the defense.
Yo, shout out Scott Perry, man, for developing a team. It's built mostly on his draft acumen. I know Walt Perrins and World Wide West have had their calls and their say on certain players like Emmanuel Quickly, but Mitchell Robinson, Quentin Grimes, RJ Barrett, I mean, these are guys that were selected and developed in New York system. We finally have a damn team that can actually draft a player and develop him and watch him get better year after year.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Worldwide.
Shout out to Worldwide.
Definitely shout out to him. And shout out to Mitchell freaking Robinson, because they went to Mitch and my man said no, all right? I might miss some, but I'm going to hit you. I'm going to hit a few and keep you honest. And then he hit 2 in a row right before he got checked out for Hartenstein. So I salute to you, Mitch, who had a 5 offensive rebound game and scared Miami so much that they had to foul him to get him out of there. It was like, nope. We can't do it. But yeah. Shout out to Samiro Ciano, though. I see you. The file super chat says Tibb
That's my
coached a
guy.
hell of a game. Randle with a great third quarter. Brunson and RJ are consistent. Rebounds. Lots to like. I think we still won in Miami. If we still won in Miami and this game 7 back in New York,
We're winning. We're winning.
I'm hoping. Let's pray to the basketball gods, man. Everybody. We need.
Facts. I'm just hoping because I'm gonna be in New York for that game, so I'm praying like that's good vibes right there.
Please,
Like,
yes. Yes, bring the
Man.
Ryan G vibes.
If we win this series, I'm buying a black China flag.
Oh my god.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Nothing beats the Ice Spice flag though.
My guy.
Oh man. Any you guys want to get anything off your chest? Do you feel like we need to touch on something?
I got a Bruh pick,
Oh, let's go.
and I can't believe I'm saying this because the man is a basketball genius, but my Bruh pick is for Eric Spoelstra, who I think is the best coach in the playoffs, but he had a moment today that I think really pissed off the Knicks, offended them, and lit a fire under their ass. And that's when he thought, oh, we're up by 10. I can put in my D team, my F team, and put the 5 worst players in my rotation on the court. 5 guys that have not played together this season, this series yet. And, rest, get some rest for Bam, get some rest for Jimmy, get some rest for Gabe, Strus. And he put these 5 bums on the court. He put Caleb Martin was probably the best player. Duncan Robinson, Cody Zeller, Black China, and Hayward Highsmith. This guy, if not for Pat Riley, find him in some bargain bin, at the dollar store. This guy would not be in the NBA. I've watched this guy all series. This guy is a absolute all capital 3-letter bum. This guy played 3 minutes.
God.
And in that 3-minute span that Eric Spoelstra had him, the Knicks went on a run and cut their lead to 1. And what did he do? Timeout, bums out, starters in. And from that moment on, the tide of the game changed. And the Knicks didn't necessarily maintain the lead all the way throughout, but the Knicks were in it. They were fiery. They were competitive. They found their offensive rebounding. And it's because, when you're on the court, when you're Randle or Brunson or Quentin Grimes, and you see Highsmith come on the court, you're like, what the? I'm sorry, is it the fourth quarter?
Yeah.
Are we about to lose this game? No, man, it's the second quarter. They started hitting threes. They started rebounding and playing defense, and I loved it, man. Eric Spoelstra, you shot your load too early, and that's what happens when you have premature ejaculation as a coach, bro. Good luck with that,
damn.
all facts.
Oh,
We won the game. Did we not win the game?
Oh, damn. Spoiled 2-minute man, goddamn.
No.
3 minutes.
Highsmith, literally the 3-minute man.
3
Last
minutes.
3 minutes of the game.
Oh, these analogies, man.
I'm the king of pause, bro.
Oh, the king of pause is.
Oh man, it's like when you're a ball player and you're playing ball and stuff and you're playing with substitutions and stuff, and all of a sudden you see them British playing to the game. Then you're looking at them like, this your man's? Like,
Yeah.
like you really want to bring him to the game? You sure about that?
Yeah. Whose man is that? Yeah.
I got my game ball goes to Fritz, who just posted Blue Chew sponsorship incoming. Give my man Highsmith some Blue Chew.
Oh my God.
My God, bro. Fritz.
What a turn if we turn to Blue Chew. It's funny because I've been seeing them pop up on podcasts. That's the fun.
Extra strength Blue Chew.
This is extra strength.
The chat.
Extra strength.
Oh, I love the chat, man.
Regular strength isn't enough for you? Like, okay, never mind. You need help, huh?
You can imagine like the next like advertisement for Blue Chew. don't last a short time in the bed like Highsmith. Get your hands on today, like like, damn.
Oh
my God, bro.
Speaking of lasting a short time, how many minutes did Josh Hart play today?
9.
This had to be like the
Yeah.
worst game of Josh Hart's life.
Yeah. I'm glad Tibbs benched his ass. He was
Yeah.
awful.
9 minutes and 3 seconds of awfulness. Negative 11 on the night. Foul-a-thon. Although the fifth foul he got from Kyle Lowry baited him. Baited the rest once again. But yeah, Josh Hart had it rough, man. He had it rough. Still believe in you, Josh.
Yeah.
Still believe in you. But you gotta take the shots when you have them.
Facts.
Yeah, and we're gonna need Josh Hart to be Josh Hart of Miami for the Knicks to win.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, he had a rough one.
You got a super chat.
Oh, shout out to AleJandro. No 420 super chat today. $5 super chat. He says Lee's about to make history by being the first ever to foul out of a podcast.
Still lasts longer than Highsmith. Let's go.
Oh
man, facts, yo. Definitely a two-tacker and out of here type of comments between Black China and blow your logo to back to back. Definitely be tossed. All right.
Oh man. Orange and blue chew. I'm dead. Oh man. Amazement. That's a hilarious.
Orange and blue chew is amazing. Yo, amazing. Amazement said it. Yo, amazement. You might have a career as like a ghostwriter or something, dog. I don't know. Copywriter.
Oh man.
Orange and blue chew with a little Knicks logo on. That'd be cool.
Someone make that meme. Please. Someone make that meme with Highsmith's face on it. Orange and blue chew. Come on, baby.
Oh man. You know it's a good day when we can laugh about blue chew at the end of a post game. All right.
Feels good. Feels good.
Yeah, man. Feels good to get a win and not be smacked like all the analysts thought, man. Feels good, man.
Exactly.
Feels good. Next game up is Friday. We got to suit up for Friday.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah, remember, Knicks only got to bring on Sue.
Yep, that's it. Just one game at a time. And like RJ Barrett said, it's only 13 teams have done it, so it's been done before. All right. So this will be a tough road, but one game at a time. Let's get back to Miami. Play the same type of game we played today. Rebound the ball, and we should be okay. We should be okay because, like I said, this whole series, it's not like the Heat have been shooting lights out. You know, we've been playing better defense than the number one defense team in the league. One of the top defensive teams in the league in the Bucks. We just got to rebound.
Yeah.
Just got to rebound. Hold on. Pause a minute. AleJandro's gonna. Before we close it out, I guess we got our closer tonight. So, caller AleJandro, come on, man. Let us know.
Testing 1, 2, 3. I got a bad mic. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Testing.
Clear?
Yeah.
All right. Check this out. First things first. How you doing tonight, Jay Evans? How you doing tonight? My man, the stats and the stats Ryan G. How you doing tonight? Truth telling me. Shout out to everybody who enjoys the KOT show. So boom. First things first. These Miami fans are lucky I was not able to call on the last episode because they thought that it was going to come through to the KOT show and run their mouth like if I was season was done. Well, let me explain something. Get on y'all cake. Go ahead and ask Georgia. How's that working out right now? I've been on their cake, smoking them in the split nonstop for 2 seasons. Don't start with me. Do not start with me. Don't even try and run y'all mouths when y'all got a 3-1 lead. I want to hear y'all talk trash when it's 0-0. Don't say nothing when you got a lead. That's soft to me. The same softness I saw from Clint Capella running his mouth for the start with me, Miami. Yeah, that's number one. Number two, shout out to New York Knicks for grinding out that W tonight. I have faith. I still believe. I'm not giving up. I'm definitely trying to fight and get nasty Friday night and get that game 6 win. But if you with me, if you ain't, screw you. Get ready for all season. We don't got no time for that. Because I, in my opinion, think as one of the few chances we will have at winning an NBA championship. I've been doing this damn near 30 years. I might not get close again like this. Ain't no Giannis in the way. KD traded away. LeBron been dipped from the East. MD's got to mess up me. I don't trust the Celtics. Look, they losing right now. So this is my only chance. So if y'all not with this 3-2 comeback, I don't even go around. This is my only chance, and I'm going to go home. I believe that in Game 6, we got to show some energy because in Florida, in Game 3 and 4, we had no energy. Obviously, Game 3 was a blowout. Game 4, those loose balls, those rebounds, especially in the second half, that hurt us. Tonight, what pissed me off was the turnovers. We got to cut down the turnovers. I like seeing Brunson and Grimes giving their all, but please, coaches, add in some more depth because we don't want to burn those guys out 48 minutes. We needed it, but at the same time, geez, they're going to burn out at this rate, and then we're not going to be able to complete the comeback. So continue doing what y'all did tonight, Nick. Shout out to Big Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah, man.
With the pressure, bro. What was that? Pressure? I was telling because I was watching the game with people. I was like, yo, we got to follow and take him out. But we couldn't after the first two. He banged on three and four. I was like, oh, Mitch is on his A game tonight. It was amazing to see. He was stepping it up. Our players stepped it up. They felt the moment. Obviously, Brunson did. But Grimes, he wasn't all that crazy statistically. For him to play the whole game, bang his knee at the end, and get that steal above us, I was going crazy. I want to see more open shopping because in Florida, like I said, we have an energy problem. I think Obi would help with that. But at the end of the day, I'm not just coach. I'm just a fan. I believe in what we got going on. I'm not giving up. If we do win Friday, it's going to be a close nail biter like it was this game 2. So that's what it is. Y'all already know. Y'all been talking this team the whole year. I just wanted y'all to hear us out and let y'all know we coming in hard Friday night. Win, lose, or draw. If we win, great. If we lose, heads up. This team gave us a great season. And just know, Miami fans, don't get on my case because that's a battle you will not win. You will beat my team on the court. Shut the hell up when it comes to talking about my team and trying to troll any of my content creators, any of my fans. That's a battle you simply will not win because I will get on you for years and years and years and years and years. Okay? Any discussion. Holla back. Let's go Knicks, baby. 6 and 7.
Oh, man.
Shout out to my guy AleJandro. He's not lost faith. Knicks in 7.
Yes, sir.
One game at a time, man. Ooh, it was tougher to hear you that time. It was tougher to hear you. But I caught the gist of it. Woo. All right, man. Good show. Shout out to Mitch. Shout out to Josh Hart. Shout out to Randle. Shout out to Grimes. Shout out to Hartenstein. Shout out to the big shot Brunson. Shout out to guys. Shout out to the followers of the KOT show, man. It's good to get a win tonight and get a good night's sleep. I can sleep really good tonight, for real.
Yes, sir.
Stress free. We back here on Friday night. All right, Lee. Let them know where they can find you, sir.
At _ Lee Escobedo, LeeEscobedo.
All right. Ryan G. Let them know where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram at Sir G is chilling.
Sir G is chilling.
That's SIRG is CHILLIN. You can also find me at Sir G's Corner. You can also find me at Ryan G KOT.
That's right. And listen, follow us at the KOT Show on Twitter, the Nick of Time Show on Instagram and Facebook as well at the Nick of Time Show. Listen to us on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, wherever you listen to podcasts. You can listen to the KOT Show. Get your snapbacks to the black and white and the blue and orange at thenicoftimeshow.com. Just through there, hit catalog button, boom, you'll see the snapbacks, cop it for you. Shout out to my guy Gamer Channel today, who was at the Knicks game rocking his KOT blue and orange, repping the KOT show and repping those New York Knicks. I know he enjoyed that win, and I enjoyed you guys too. I enjoyed celebrating you guys and actually talking about a win. All right. let's hope we get this comeback going. Next game up is on Friday. All right. I'm just really glad too that whole we would have swept y'all if you. I was like, man, like our guys were hurt too. Like whatever, it's fine though. I'm glad that narrative is at least down. No, we could have swept that. Okay, Jimmy is here now. All right, Jimmy is here. We missing the guy in IQ. Y'all missing your guy. All right, cool. Now let's go.
It's important to note this is the best season and postseason since 2001.
Yes.
22 years, man. This is the best one. Let's enjoy it.
Let's enjoy it. Exactly. Let's enjoy it. So the crazy, fire this guy and trade this guy and enjoy it, man. Enjoy this, man. We haven't had this in 20 years. This is not the end all be all season for the New York Knicks. This is a building block. We're building habits. We're getting guys here who have never been in the second round before. They're getting second round playoff experience. These Miami Heat guys, they've been to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. They're one game away from the finals. One game. All right? They have an experience. We have to fight that. Now, what happens sometimes is young teams grow within the series and they learn how to win sometimes between the series, but a lot of times young teams take their lumps first. All right? But we're going to have to lean on Jalen Brunson. We're going to have to lean on RJ Barrett. Hopefully RJ Barrett is taking his lumps and he's doing his rise and occasion thing, and hopefully we figure it out. All right, so we'll see. We're going to see if this story continues on Friday. We have a shot. Let's keep it going. All right, that is our show, man. That's our show. We out this mug, and guess what? As always,
Shout out the World Wide West. Everywhere we go, we leave a worldwide mess.
it's a mess out here in these Knicks YouTube and Twitter streets. That's our show. We out this mug.
Peace.
York, New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.
NYC.